What's up, guys? Welcome to our next episode of Duly Noted.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
It has been a while. We took a break off last week, so it was kind of nice to not to say that I
that we hate this.
Well, not to say I don't enjoy spending time with you, but I enjoyed not spending that time with you also. So. But it was nice. But I mean, lots of things have happened since our last episode. So
a couple things.
Yeah. So, but I mean, things with the channel. There's things with the world. It's been really interesting to watch the news lately.
Who would have thunk that just a week, 2 weeks would
be such a hot mess?
It's not a hot mess. It's like a lightly simmered.
It's like a dumpster fire, but it's smoldering. It's like
smoldering
a smoldering dumpster fire. That's what it is. But it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I literally, with the last time we had our episode, we had a special guest. So
Tim, thank you.
Tim, yeah,
I know
shout
you're
out to Tim. Yeah, shout out to Tim for joining us, being our first special guest.
Yeah, it was special.
I thought it was a great episode. I think we'll definitely have to have Tim back and have some other people on at some point, because I think it just made it more engaging for us. We don't have to say that we can't talk well.
Yeah,
but have more than our stupid two opinions on something.
We gotta get somebody else on to make sure that it's not just the Tim charm working, which it probably is.
I mean, Tim's a great dude. So again, so glad you got to come on and be our first guest. So,
it was great. If it was anybody else, nope. Nope.
But if I sound like I have a little bit lower voice, I have been
working out.
Yeah, working out. That's exactly it. No, I've had a really bad cold this week. So I actually, right before we started, I was like, man, I told Nick, I was like, I almost had to cancel today because I didn't think I could talk earlier. So, but now the drugs have officially kicked in. So I think we're okay-ish to do this episode.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. But
I think we're fine.
Yeah. But this last week, it was an eventful week. For those of you that watch and follow our social media, and
it's popping off.
It's been going off pretty well, and I had made a push to get a certain amount of monthly listeners on Spotify, and because we've literally only done this for a month. And
a little over a month.
Yeah, well, a little over a month. So, but when we did episode 5, because there were 5 weeks in November.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So we actually got to do 5 episodes in that month. But our first stretch goal was to get to 50 monthly listeners, and we actually made that within the first 5 episodes. So it's pretty cool.
Streamers.
Yeah. So that means we have that many unique listeners on Spotify alone. So I think we're up to like 60 to 70 monthly listeners just on Spotify. So
thank you guys.
Yeah, so thank you guys for like chiming in, watching. I know we're getting more people watching on YouTube and Spotify. So, but with the 50 number mark, we actually are able to monetize a little bit now. So I haven't quite figured out what that looks like yet.
Yeah.
There's like businessy things that I have to do with it, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just lazy and I don't want to do it.
I can't blame you.
Yeah. So
I'm not even doing the business stuff, and I don't even want to do it. Well, before you go, if you want to find us on YouTube, I tried to find us the other day. You got to be really specific with how you're doing it. You have to type in "duly noted," add podcast after it, and you'll get us right at the top search.
Really?
If you don't, you're not going to find us, even if you type it exactly.
See, I that is one thing I hadn't figured out really how to navigate YouTube, because I have a lot of people that ask for our YouTube, and because I run the channel, I can just copy the channel and send it to them. But like searching it, I struggle to find it as I search for it. So.
Yeah, it's like we don't even exist.
Yeah, but I mean, everywhere else though, we're like the first thing. So like Spotify first thing, Apple Music first thing. So I don't know. It's kind of like
even on TikTok, we might be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're number 1. I mean, there is one or two other channels out there, but I don't think they're
not
quite
as important.
I don't think they get the traction. Well, even there's one podcast on Spotify and Apple Music, and I think we've already exceeded their views and episodes already. And
really?
They did like 5 episodes in 2020 and stopped. Never did anything ever again. So, not to dog on another channel with the same name, but
that last episode could have been our last episode.
It could have been our last episode. We would have been just tied right there with them.
Just another channel that fell off.
Yeah, but
sad days.
But it's been cool to just watch it. So my hope is that we continue to keep growing on Spotify and YouTube. So I keep getting really good feedback from everybody. I had a buddy who texted me and he's like, "Dude, I just like binged all your episodes like a span of a day."
Which I was telling Tom, I can't imagine like. I don't know how that's possible because I don't even want to listen to myself for that long, man.
But he's a good friend, so I mean, and he's another guy I'd love to have on because he's him and I we got our bachelor's in recording together. So
shoot,
yeah, so he was the very first time we went out to a show in Lawrence. That was the first time I ever got to meet Polyphia. I got to meet Tim Henson. Yeah,
I was pretty jealous.
Yeah, so back in the day, me and my buddy Nick. If you're listening to this, congratulations! I just did a shout out for you, Nick. But
Thank you.
back out in the this has got to be like 2010, 2012. I can't remember the exact date.
Man.
But yeah, I even asked him. I said, because I went to a show in Lawrence this last weekend, and I said, "Hey, what was that venue that we went to? I'm going to a show with my wife." And he's like, "Oh, it was called the Jackpot. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore." And I was like, "Oh, dang it!" So because it was such a fun show, we watched like a ton of like killer bands in this tiny little venue, and I mean, it was Polyphia, Strawberry Girls, Chon, and I mean, it was one of the best, most fun shows because it was a small, intimate venue, and so it was really cool because all the bands, they hang out and they talk with the fans and everything. And I remember talking to Tim, and I think I'd had a few libations at that point, and I said, "Hey Tim, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey man, what's going on? Do you enjoy the show?" I said, "Yeah, dude, I loved it." And then he's like, "I play guitar too. What kind of guitar do you play?" And he's like, "Oh, I play an Ibanez Prestige." And I'm like, "That's cool." And then I just
that's cool.
Yeah, I just like leisurely off to the side, and I was like, "Oh well, I just talked to Tim Henson, one of the most influential guitarists in the world, and made a fool of myself." But it was,
you were the most influential person to him at that point, in that moment.
in that moment, yeah, you're right. But it was really cool though. I do feel bad because in that show specifically, during the Chon set, they like to get rowdy, and they like to do a mosh pit. And you could tell that there was this young kid and his girlfriend there, and she went just for him. Like, you could tell that in the crowd. Like, he was getting into it, headbanging and all that stuff. And they get rowdy and they start doing a mosh pit. And they're just going around, and they're in the front row next to the stage. Like, they have no idea. And then the pit's just happening right behind them. So it's like front row, pit immediately behind them. This guy comes around, just roundhouse kicks the girl in the head. She drops to the ground. What a terrible first show to go to.
Well, did you know that was actually their first date?
Oh man, if that was their first date, I don't think he's gonna get a second one.
Nah,
but I mean that's how some of those concerts go. They get a little rowdy. So if you ever go to like a rock or a metal show, that's what happens a lot of the times. They try to get.
We get a little rowdy. We get a little rough.
Where's there's the saying, if you don't want to get hit, get out of the pit. So that's the saying. So, but most other genres, you don't have to worry about physical violence. So,
oh, dude, can't wait to mosh at the Creedence Clearwater revival.
CCR. Well, you never know. I mean, you could get wild. Who knows? But yeah,
don't stretch a little too far.
So I have a question for you, and
okay.
we've kind of chatted a little bit about stuff before, and
okay.
I mean, granted, like tons of things have happened over this last week.
You're right.
So,
I will be the best man at your wedding.
Oh,
it's your wedding again.
My next wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll be sure to tally
Thank
that
you.
on the list. But no, are you an avid gamer?
Don't say it like that.
Do you play video games, Nick?
Yeah, I'm kind of a gamer.
Are you?
I'm kind of a gamer.
What kind of games do you play?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like we've had this conversation before,
but not probably on air.
Okay. Well, I feel like
this is going to go in a certain direction.
You might as well just get it to that direction.
Well, did you see the Game Awards last night?
Oh, they suck, dude.
Did you see what happened with the Game of the Year?
Wait, no.
Bro. Bro, so they had the Game Awards last night, and they had Game of the Year. What game do you think won Game of the Year, just out of curiosity?
It was probably Elden Ring.
It actually was. My thought, it was definitely going to go between Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok, which realistically I was like, it's probably going to go to Elden Ring, because the fact that even God of War Ragnarok was nominated was crazy, because it'd only been out for like 2 months. So
well, it won by could have won by relevancy, and two, just like a whole bunch of those awards were just diluted with God of War. It was just shooing for like 10 awards.
Yeah,
basically. And I was like, whatever, man, I don't care.
But I mean, not to like get off topic, but I thought that God of War would have been. It was a great, competitor for, or a candidate for that one. I thought. I mean, because I played both of them, and I thought they were great. I did think that the story overall, I enjoyed it better on God of War, because I just finished it within this last week. But it was a really cool storyline. Really enjoyed it. But Game of the Year, Elden Ring won.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the pinnacle of the night. Like, so they're doing this whole evening giving out awards, like best motion soundtrack, best writing, best animation. They do it. Then they went to the Game of the Year. Elden Ring wins. The whole team walks up. They give their speech. They're like, we want to thank everyone at Firm Software. This is a great victory for us. It was such an awesome win. Blah 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 blah. And they went off and they said congratulations. And the music starts playing. And they go yeah.
Handshakes.
Right after that, there was a kid standing behind them on the stage. He walks up to the microphone and he says, "I would like to nominate or give this award to someone else. I want to give this to my Reformed Orthodox rabbi, Bill Clinton."
Is that what that was? I've been seeing clips on that all day today.
Because so what happened was the dude was immediately arrested. So like it was super funny. They announced Game of the Year, Elden Ring. The crew stood up and started walking. This kid just saw an opportunity, stood up, and started walking with them. And they took the stage, and he took the stage with him. No one stopped him. It was insane. And so this is like the pinnacle of the evening. Like this is like years of culminating, like coming to fruition. Like we finally won this amazing award where, we did this. And like this kid comes up and he's like, "I want to thank my Reformed Orthodox rabbi, Bill Clinton." And that's what he said. And he said it just like that. But that happened, and it was one of the highlights of the Game Awards last night.
Oh my!
The internet is making memes of it. Like I was like, scrolling through TikTok, and I said, Jen, I was talking to her, and I was like, "Have you seen any clips on this?"
I had no idea that's what that was.
Yeah,
I've seen it like at least 5 times today.
Yeah, it's because it's blown up like crazy. So I mean, it was just super funny that whole situation happened the way it did.
Yeah,
So, I hope that kid. I hope he gets to do more stuff in the future. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping he.
Well, I think he is.
I really want to. I want to see an interview with him after his incarceration.
So he actually got arrested.
He got arrested. Yeah, they pulled him off the stage and literally arrested him afterwards.
What?
Yeah,
bruh. Dude, imagine that. What are you in for? Elden Ring,
being a memester, like just
menace to society, right there.
I know, but yeah, that was one of the like. I just thought it was absolutely funny and crazy and hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I played Elden Ring. I thought it was a great game. So kudos to all those guys. Did you play Elden Ring at all?
No, I don't play those Souls type games. I played a couple and they're just boring.
See, I did the first, second, and third Dark Souls, and I hated them. I did buy Elden Ring and I played it for a little bit. It's not my genre.
I've played Dark Souls 3. I got like maybe 70% of the way through the game, and I got like near the end of Bloodborne.
Yeah, see, I never played Bloodborne.
I liked it better than Dark Souls 3, but both, they're just, it's the same. Fight the boss, go through the area. You're probably not going to fight all the enemies.
Well,
but
and it's really the same thing. Well, and Elden Ring was a little different because it was more open world. But like the Dark Souls games, it really, and people like made this joke. It's like no one really ever wins. You just do a little better every time. And I was like, bro, that is so true, because literally whenever I played the first, maybe it was the second Dark Souls game, I just remember like taking 2 steps, dying, respawn, take 3 steps, dying.
Well, and it's not that like I was bad at them. Like I was fine. I probably got through the game pretty easily with not too many deaths. And I'm not trying to like, but like it for me it was, I'd never really struggled with those games because they're like, the bosses were fine. It just felt like easy because like they telegraphed their attacks. If you just pay attention to them for like just like a couple minutes, you've pretty much got it down.
So he's pretty much calling me a bad gamer because I sucked at those games.
But like they're all the same. They usually got a few forms. You've got like, you can stay away for a couple minutes. I don't know. I feel like people are just too impatient with the games.
That's definitely me. I
will admit I'm not the most patient person, but it's like it's just boring. There's just not enough for me.
The Dark Souls series. I mean, I think they're great games. I know people love them. They were not my and they're not my type of game, and that's why, one of the reasons why I really enjoyed God of War, Ragnarok, because it's a really heavily story based game. You dive into these characters' backstories, and they have some really like awesome like fighting sequences within the game. So,
well, I don't even know what kind of games I like, because I don't like I don't like a game if it's too story based, and I don't like a game if it's like Dark Souls where it's like too focused on going through the places and you're fighting the stuff. Okay. I don't know, man. It's I don't know.
So do you like? I mean, you like Legend of Zelda though?
I gotta remember. I've been playing
because there's like your main story, but then there's side quests. So you kind of decide like what you're doing.
But I never do the side quests.
You just do the story.
Yeah, because I mean, that's.
Did you like the dungeon, like the puzzle form of it, or?
Yeah. What is my? I like games where you can just get in and you're playing the game, play for a little bit, save. Okay, I'm done. Come back to it, pick up where I left off. Because I mean, I don't like sinking like 4 or 5 hours in a game and it takes off like maybe 2%.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and I'm kind of the opposite, because I don't play games very often. So when I do, it's very intentional. So usually, like the new God of War game, I sat down probably a few hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day, and played it until I finished it.
You know what what game I've actually been recently playing again? I don't know if you've heard of Terraria.
I have never played it. I've seen it. Is turn based or?
It's not turn based. It's so it's like it's a 2D pixelated game. And I think it's the perfect form of what I'm talking about. You're in the game, you figure out what to do. There's bosses, they're pretty tough, and there's goals of just going through the game, and it's fun. And you can play for like 2 hours, 30 minutes, and just get out. You're in. It's easy. It's fun. So it's like a 2D. Everybody refers to it as like 2D Minecraft.
Okay.
But it's
Roblox, bro.
No, that's insulting.
I don't even know what Roblox is. I just know kids love it. So
it was weird because I played Roblox when I was like 8.
Oh, really?
And now my niece, who's like 6, is playing, and I'm like, how is the game still alive? Yep. I don't get it, because it looks completely different.
All of my youth students, they absolutely love it. So like, they're like, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just playing Roblox, bro. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is, but
dude, I had Builders Club for a solid 3 months.
And you just played Roblox?
Yeah, I played Roblox for like that whole time. I played when I was like a wee lad. I liked a lot of those computer games, those like online multiplayer games like Roblox. Yeah. Like Club Penguin. If you ever heard.
Oh yeah.
I liked that one. And then Disney had another one. I think it was like Toontown or something.
See, there was one, Dragon Veil. That's what it was.
Dragon
Veil. That was one of the very first ones. Now we're talking like probably circa the age you were born. So like early 2000s.
Oh God.
So yeah, like circa early 2000s. Yeah, there was this game called Dragon Veil, and it was like a quest-based game where you like rolled around. It was 2-dimensional, but it was like really cool graphics, really cool characters. You got to have like pets and stuff to go on your journey and stuff like that. So it was kind of like along the same. Well, it wasn't all along the same. It was story driven, but it was around the same time when Farmville was when it was like cultivated. So it's not like Farmville at all, but it was like that's when it was introduced, like around that time, like the early 2000s. So it was kind of an interesting time. But I remember that being like one of my very first exposures of online gaming.
I tried. I liked a lot of those. There's the early 2000s. There were so many. I can just name like 7 off the top of my head.
Because he was a wee babe and remembers all of them.
They were just all over the place. There's like Cartoon Network had one. I think it was called like Fusion Fall or something.
Oh, I don't know what
that's different. There was Toontown. There was Club Penguin. There was Pirates Online. There was RuneScape.
Wow. You had WoW, World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft.
That's still one of the biggest online MMO RPGs games you can play.
Yep.
Which I mean, that's World of Warcraft is what spawned Warcraft 3, which spawned Dota, which then spawned League of Legends.
Yeah.
So,
but like,
wow.
there's wow.
Yeah, you can think, wow.
There's so many of those that just like from that few years, I could probably name more, but I just remember that was huge, man. Because I didn't have a whole lot of money growing up.
Okay.
So, like but we did have a computer.
Okay.
So like if I wanted to play games, I would just go on the internet to like browsers, like those browser games and stuff like that, and you can play for free. And like I would just run through like the free trials and max out the stats.
What was it? Jib Jab? Did you ever play on Jib Jab? Do you know what that is? Oh man, I'm dating myself on that one.
You know what? Mind. What was sad was
I'm not going to talk about this anymore.
Jib Jab?
Jib Jab. You don't know what it is?
Well, now I'm interested.
It was literally a platform where you could go and play free online games, and they had like funny videos and stuff like that. It was kind of like E-Bomb's World, but like, which if you don't know what that is,
I know what that is.
That one's a little more adult humor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or like what was it? Newgrounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
I was on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
I like that
well, so. What was your very first console then? Like, what did you ever like very first play on? I'm intrigued.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think
you're a young pup.
My first console, my earliest memories is, and this probably might not surprise you, but PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Was my first console, and the first game I ever remember playing, Spyro 3.
Oh yeah.
That was love that game. Still the best out of all the Spyro games. Because when the Reignited trilogy came out, I bought it, and I played through them, and because I never played the first two. So Spyro 3, I remember that vaguely, and then I went back. I was like, oh my god, look at all the stuff I had like completely forgot about. Like there's some like core memories in there, like some of the like worlds and stuff. But going back is really cool. But so that was my first like console and game experience. But even I think around the same time, I have a vivid memory of I say we didn't have a lot of money, but like occasionally, like because I had a PlayStation 2 that was my dad's, that he just kind of basically just said, hey, I don't play this, you can play it. And so I'd have like a few games, and we'd go to like the store. It was called like Game Exchange. It's not here anymore, which was sad.
Yeah.
Because I love that place. And you could get games for like $5-7, and that's what I did. I had like a whole stack of like $7 $5 games, and my favorite one, oh god, what was it? It was probably the Lego Star Wars.
Oh, the OG, yeah.
Those are still the best, man.
I mean, I love them. That is by far still one to this day one of my favorite games.
I've got a couple of. I'm gonna go through a couple of these memories because I'm getting them back now. So my second one is getting. I don't remember the context, but it was like right before we got my dog. Like a few days before, and my dad was like, he just came home. He was like, hey, I was at the store. And me and my sister were on the couch, and he was like, I got you a present. and he just pulled up with 2 Nintendo DSs. And I was like, what?
Bro.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty cracked. And the first game I got, Sonic Rush. I had that game. I wore that game out. I played that so many times and I was so bad at it. And this is actually how I met like one of my closest friends, is because he also had the game too. And when I'd ride the bus, we would swap out and play the parts that the other person couldn't. So he would get,
you help each other out.
Yeah, he fought the final boss for me, and I helped him get the 7 Chaos Emeralds to get to the final boss, because I couldn't beat the final boss. But anyway, that was another one.
See, for me, I was very fortunate. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, maybe around there.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma surprised me with a Nintendo NES, like original NES.
Oh.
And so like 8-bit games. So like Mario, Super Mario 3, Legend of Zelda, all of those like original 8-bit games. That's what I started on, and I absolutely loved them. I played the living heck out of them.
Yeah.
So that was my first like excursion, and I have like a very sweet spot towards like 8-bit and like retro games now. So yeah, I can like speed run their first original Legend of Zelda probably in 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I mean, I played it a ton. I can only do the first run through. The second run through, I can't, because the second run through they change where everything is. So I don't know how to do that one. But when I was finally old enough to like earn my own money, my first one that I bought was an N64.
Ooh.
And see, that was my first excursion of like 3D gaming. And so like Mario Kart. And
I actually do want to talk about this. Keep going.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I got some perspectives on this.
So yeah, so my N64, Mario Kart, Turok, that was a really heavy game.
I remember
And then probably one of still to this day, one of the most influential games on my life and was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one, I think that was like where 3D gaming, they opened this open world of possibilities and like hidden gems and stuff, and they kind of took the step to like the next level, the next generation. So I mean, later on, like I remember specifically asking when I was like 14, I was like, Grandma, can I get a PlayStation 2 for Christmas? This cool Kingdom Hearts game's gonna come out. And I begged her for like ever, and she was so amazing. She got us that, and that's when that was the next gen console of the time. So it was like really expensive to get. So it was like a really big deal. I will say, I mean, if you have any memories of like PlayStation 2,
not of it coming out,
or I mean like,
but I have like
playing games. Well, one thing that I absolutely hate, which we don't have to deal with these new next gen consoles now, they used to have memory cards. And you had to use those memory cards, and they were like 8 megabytes or 16 megabytes. And there was this one game that I played. It was called Star Ocean Till the End of Time, and it was a turn-based style game.
I think I've heard of that actually.
I loved it. It was super good. The graphics were terrible. They were so bad. But
going back to some of these games, they look awful.
They look terrible. But I loved the game itself, and I sunk 200 plus hours into this game.
Oh man.
So I mean, yeah, like just an unholy amount, and like I was just beefing up my characters and the stats as much as I could, just trying to be like this holy thing that could never be destroyed within the game. And then the dreaded corrupted file, like you go to load your game, and then there's a grayed out icon with the X on it, and means that your file was corrupted and you could no longer load that game. So I had lost all of that, and it was truly heartbreaking.
I don't think there was like a PlayStation 2 game that I played for that long. There were a lot that I like swapped between.
That was the only one where I took that amount of time. I spent an unholy amount of time on that game.
Let me think, because there were some games that I did wear out. One of those I think was Battlefront.
Oh,
like the original Battlefront.
Yeah. But Battlefront or Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 1. But I know
2 was so much better.
Well, the thing is, I never got Battlefront 2 because I could never find it, or 2 afford it.
What 2 was? It was, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I used to get like a. There was a Game Informer magazine or something like that, and they would give you like demo discs within the magazines. So you get like PlayStation demo discs or whatever. Yeah. So I remember like getting the demo disc, and it had Battlefront 2 on it, and I was like, "What, bro? this is on here, and so you could only play it for like 5 to 10 minutes. But I was like, bro, that 5 to 10 minutes, that was the best 5 to 10 minutes I could have on a demo disc. Like it was so good.
Yeah, I played a lot of my PlayStation 2, and when I was like 5 years ago, I got an N64 as well, but I only played like 2 games on it. One, Super Mario 64.
Yep.
And 2 was unrelated, GoldenEye, but
oh well, that's literally those are both staples like for N64. So like Mario, Turok, GoldenEye, any Legend of Zelda like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. Those are all like.
But I think most of my time I spent like playing games was on my DS. Honestly, most of my collection was DS games, which sadly I sold so many of them because like to get another game I had to sell like, which sucked. Because one of my favorite games, I still regret it, I'm still trying to find a copy of, Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Oh, yeah.
Is my favorite game of all time. Dude,
Kirby won Family Game of the Year.
I saw it. That was well-deserved.
Yeah.
As it should be. Kirby's getting some dubs this year, all I can say.
Kirby, Nick has divulged to me that Kirby is like one of his all-time favorites. So.
Yes, but Superstar Ultra is the definitive way to play any of the Kirby games.
See, I had to play. Or I had to play, didn't have to play. I started playing Smash Bros. On my new Switch, and I had to go through the story mode again to unlock all the characters.
And you got to play as Kirby.
You got to play as Kirby. And
see, for me, that's no problem because Kirby's like my main.
You get unholy good at Kirby, like really quick. Like I'm not to say that like he should be a de facto character for everyone, but like if you can't play Kirby, there's something wrong with you because he's like so fun and easy to use. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, I played as him, but I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so a lot of those was on my my DS. That I gotta remember. It was Kirby, Sonic Rush. That was the main one. New Super Mario Brothers was I wore that one out as well.
So you're talking about your DS. You reminded me when I was a teenager. We got to do a summer school project, and I don't know if they do that here in St. Joe or not, but like if you did summer school, they would reward you with like a $100 Visa gift card.
Yeah,
or
they
something
do
like
that.
Do they do that here?
But I never knew about that until I was in high school.
I only did it 1 year.
Found out about it.
I only did it 1 year, and I attended every day with the sole purpose of getting that Visa gift card. And I went and I bought a Game Boy Advance with it, and so that was like the pinnacle of the generation. And I remember I had gotten like some Pokemon game, a fighter game, and I can't remember, maybe it was like a Mario game of some kind.
Yeah.
But I remembered having it for 2 weeks and setting it down in the band room, and this punk kid stole it. And he wouldn't admit to stealing it. So I'm not going to name that kid because I know him in real life now. I know it was you.
You got to get it back.
Yeah, I demand it back 20 years later.
Probably doesn't even have it.
That's all right. That's all right. I've learned to let that go. But it was heartbreaking as a 14-year-old kid. I was like, I did all this time and spent all this time, and now it was gone within 2 weeks. I was like,
yeah. So my DS, the rich kids at my school, they had PSPs. That was when your parents had daddy's credit card. That's how you knew. But one of my friends, my good friend that I actually that we helped each other with Sonic Rush. That friend, his name was Asher. One of my best friends in elementary school. He had a 3DS, and I had no idea about these. And when they came out, like this was like 2 years after they came out, he had one. I was like, dude, I have a DS, not as cool as a 3DS. It's time to upgrade. So that was my when I was 13, maybe 12. Yeah, 12. When I got a 3DS, and I still have my 3DS. It's awesome. I had my first game on it that I really wore out. I played I think I 100% of this game like maybe 5 times because that's how many times I played. It was a Super Mario 3D Land.
Oh, man, you know one thing I absolutely I don't want to say I hate Nintendo for, but I wish they would see the light. You can't play any of the old school games on Switch. You can, but it's a subscription base.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It is dumb. Like, and I mean, I would rebuy every single one of those games full price to have it. I don't want to have to pay a subscription. I think it's dumb.
Nintendo really went from Wii U like to being more consumer oriented. After the CEO died, they really just said, "Screw you guys. You like our consoles? That sucks."
Money.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, which I still love Nintendo as a company.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are by far the most wholesome console out there. Probably.
I think that's just a front, to be honest.
Well, they make some of like the most family oriented friendly games. I mean, you're talking like Mario Kart, Smash Bros. I mean, there are some other games, but I mean, you have other game developers that they make for all consoles, not just a specific console. But I do wish that Nintendo would see the light on that, because I mean, I'm one of those people. Those games are nostalgia for me. I would relive them. Like I would play them right now. Like all the 64 games, the 8-bit games. I mean,
no, 64 is that's where I got to disagree. Some of those games are okay, or I mean, really good. The rest are either really bad or just okay.
Well, I mean, like we're talking about like those staple names,
even like Mario 64.
Yeah, Mario 64.
This is a hot take, but I really would not call Super Mario 64 a really great game.
So in comparison to today's games, no.
Nah.
The time when they were released, Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, those were probably two of the most it paved the way for those games that we have now.
I think Ocarina of Time is the definitive game. Like, you gotta play it.
Yeah.
Over in Mario 64.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Well, that one has it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's dark, it's got good music, it's got a great story.
Really good music.
I mean, it's insane. Like, Nick and I were talking about one day, like, I said, man, we just jokingly, like, we should just, make part of our channel, like, redoing, like, old 8-bit video game music or something like that. And I was like, cool. we should do that, dude.
It's gonna happen.
It'd be so fun. Well, and, like, all of the songs from, like, Legend of Zelda, they're slappers. Like, you get the Song of Storms.
Everybody knows that one.
Well, and, like, you have all these people that, like, remake them. Like, oh, gosh, what's the one DJ's name? Fixa? Or do you listen to dubstep at all?
No. Well, I mean, I used to, but
heartbreaking. There's this DJ out in the world. His name is, I want to say it's DJ Fixa. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. I love your music. He has a genre called Zelda Step.
Zelda Step.
And he has remade all of them, like all of the core songs, into dubstep songs. I got to tell you, man, those were my workout songs because they got me pumped. Like I could like bench press for hours to that. Like it was their slapper songs, because like the Lost Woods. Listen, and then right there they drop the beat, and that's when it comes in like really heavy. I got to show you this stuff, man. This is amazing. Not to like good topic about like, well, I mean, it's video game music. It's something that I'm passionate about.
Same.
We like video games. We like music. It's cool. So if you guys are watching, like, you should tell us what kind of music you like, because I mean, this is something that like kind of influenced me growing up. So I get really passionate about.
Yeah, a lot of my music comes from like 30-second like intervals, like how to phrase stuff. From a lot of, I think my favorite soundtracks probably like the Sonic soundtracks. Honestly.
See, those are solid.
Yeah,
those are so solid.
My favorite, which was really annoying because Sonic Origins came out like sometime this year, and which was a letdown.
Yeah,
because it sucked.
Well,
the most egregious act was that there's some gray areas of it finally got confirmed that Michael Jackson did work on the Sonic 3 soundtrack.
He did?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He helped. Well, it's been speculated for like decades at this point, and people were like, "Oh yeah, it's." But now somebody from like the Michael Jackson estate confirmed
like they came out and they said, "Yeah, they made a statement on it." Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool, though.
Yeah, and Sega denied it for like, I think they still probably do. And it came out. but like tracks like Carnival Night Zone, what is it? The snow one, Ice Cap Zone. Those were the two big ones, and they cut those tracks because those were like Carnival Night Zone is based off of a track called Jam by Michael Jackson. It sounds real, like almost identical. And Ice Cap Zone sounds like, I forget the name of it, but some of those. But those are the two tracks that always get cut from like the games, like when they re-release them.
Yeah.
But now they re-released, like it was a big deal because they put finally in a compilation of the games, they put Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles as Sonic 3 and Knuckles finally, but doesn't have the tracks.
But so I mean, push forward a little bit with some some more like video game music and stuff. Nick and we've kind of had I don't want to say we bonded over. Nick introduced me to a game, Undertale, and it's an indie developer, Toby Fox. He came through, and I had a ukulele student. They really wanted to learn a song on it, and so I went through meticulously, listened to the track, and like tabbed it out on ukulele for this kid. And I got to tell you, that is one of the most amazing soundtracks I've ever listened to for a video game. I mean, it's great. And I had some other kids. They came up to me and they're just like, "Dude, if you like that, you should go check out Hollow Knight." And I've never played Hollow Knight.
So it's it is a little overhyped, I will say.
Okay.
And I fall into this. I do kind of overhype it for what it is. It is. Well, I'll go off the Undertale conversation first, just so we can close that one.
Okay.
So I recently played Undertale because of one of my ex-girlfriends, and she.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about that?
You did.
So this was kind of funny. I got into a fight with one of my girlfriends because I hadn't played Undertale. So, and I said, it seems a little overrated. She did not talk to me for like 2 days. I'm not kidding. And even the whole time as I was playing it, she was like, I don't even remember. But I played it because I was like, you know what? I might as well.
Yeah.
And plus it gets, And so I played it because of one of my ex-girlfriends. Ex for a reason now. And it was a really cool experience. That's why I'm like, you really need to finish it.
Yeah, I need to. I started it. I had an issue.
And it kills me.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. Well,
because you got like 2/3 of the way through the game.
Well, what happened was I originally started on the Switch, and then I had bought like a brand new OLED Switch, and it just quit working. And so I was like, oh no. So I went and started it. A new version. I went and purchased it on PlayStation and started playing it on PlayStation.
He killed Toriel first.
Yeah.
Which I'll never forgive that.
That was my first run. I definitely killed her.
I was like, if you're gonna play it again, you need to do everything you did the first time, just so you can
get the true experience. Yeah.
Yeah, but you still haven't even finished it, so you haven't even gotten the true experience.
Yeah, I don't even know what the end it happens yet. But I got to a part where I'm stuck on the PlayStation. Well, now my Nintendo Switch is fixed, so I can go back and start.
Which I'll probably after this, I'll probably do that for you.
Yeah, I'll go through. Well, that's
since I'm here.
That's on the PlayStation one, but I can go back and start the original one though. So the one where I killed her, I can go back and finish that one.
Oh, you actually.
Yeah, I got it.
You beat the spider boss.
No. That's the one on the PlayStation. So the PlayStation one, I got stuck on the spider boss, which Nick was just like, yeah, make sure you get one of those spider cookies or whatever.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the game, if you buy, there's a spider bake sale. Like it's like one of the first rooms you go into, and if you buy one of those, it's like 10 coins, and you take it to the like near the end of the game, and you don't use it, you can basically skip the boss.
Which I didn't know, and I kept dying a lot, and so I was like, this will give me health, and I ate it for the health, and I shouldn't have done that because I am now stuck at that boss. But life lessons.
But did you beat it on the other?
I haven't gone back on the Switch one yet. Yeah, I actually did not get that far on the Switch one before.
My
so like
God.
I had gotten not very far on the Switch run through before my Switch crapped out. And
because was that how far is that in the game?
The spider thing?
Yeah. What's before that?
the brothers, the Skeleton Brothers, and the city and
City. Oh, okay then. Yeah, you didn't even get to the good parts. You didn't even get to the good parts, man.
well, that's what I'm here for, to displease everybody.
Clearly. But no, it's Undertale. I didn't, because I was in middle school when that came out, and that was like a huge deal. It was like all over the internet. Everybody was playing it, and I was like, eh. And like even people in my school were talking about it. I just never did. And then I came back and I was like, you know what? If I had played this in middle school, this would have been my personality.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of dodged a bullet there.
You just would have enveloped it. You're just like, it's all you talk about all the time.
Yeah.
But but like I understand the hype behind it, because a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people talk about the music, and I've got a really good bass student right now, Bryson. He watches our podcast, or he's watched it a little bit. I went out to his house a week or two ago and kind of looked at some of his setup and stuff like that, and he showed me some of his old projects that he used to do. But he is all about that stuff, because he would take like old school 8-bit music and revamp them and write new music and like put words to them and like it was just really cool stuff.
That's cool.
So, but like there's so much of that out there where you have people that take them, or there's so many just good music tracks from video games. So I know that Hollow Knight, I've never played it. I honestly, I guess I didn't really know that there was hype behind it. I just knew that it had a good,
there is.
I just knew it had a good music track.
Well, if you go every now and then, I'll watch like the Nintendo Directs and like the like expos of like showing what's coming up.
Uh-huh.
All those chats are just, when's the new Hollow Knight game coming out? Just lines of it. And
I'll have to check this out, I guess. I don't know.
Because the new game's getting ready to come out. I think it's called Silk Song, which everybody's been hyping up for a while. But over the summer I beat Hollow Knight. No, not even over the summer. It was like right before my birthday I beat it. And I got the regular kind of crappy ending because I just went through the game and
so it's kind of like Undertale, so the ending changes on how you.
Yeah, but there's like very specific things you have to do. And my thing, it's a Metroidvania type game.
Okay.
But it looks really good and the gameplay is really fun. But my problem is I don't particularly like those kinds of games because one, you have the whole model is you go here and then you're stuck, so you have to find an item that gets you through this area, and then you do the same thing, repeat it for like 10-20 hours. That's usually those formulas. But this one it followed that, but it felt a little different. The music's really good.
Well, see, and the only reason I know about the music is because in our studio, with the studio next to us, there's a piano teacher. And I had a little 30-minute break between students one night, and she has a new piano student. Well, not a new piano. This guy's been taken with her forever. But I just hear this really crazy, just crazy like piano riff just in the background. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And she comes out, and I said, what is that? That sounds like such a cool thing. And he's like, oh, it's from some video game. And she said, oh, it's Hollow Knight, Radiance from Hollow Knight. And I was like, what is this? And so it like piqued my interest, and I started going down the rabbit hole, and I listened to some of the music, and I was like, this is killer stuff. So like video game music, it is so slept on. Like I could listen to it as standalone music.
And I'll get into this. So Soul Sanctum's my favorite track. Listen to that.
From Hollow Knight.
Yes.
Okay, I will go
Soul
listen
Sanctum
to that.
is really good. That's really the only one I usually remember off the top of my head. That's really memorable.
Okay.
But I recently beat the game. It's pretty fun. It's if you combine Metroidvania, style with like Dark Souls.
Okay.
That's the best way I could describe it. And it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, I don't like the formula of you go here, you need an item to get to the next area, and then you just wash, repeat. And then, here. But I recently started playing Metroid Dread, which is, I'm not going to lie, probably my 2022 game of the year. Not going to lie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I played
Personally.
I played a lot of Metroid back in the day. Is that a 2D one or is that
Mhm.
okay? See, yeah, I played a lot of the.
It's really good.
I mean, I played a lot of the 2D ones. I played a lot of the. Oh man, there was one I played on the Nintendo Wii, and like how you like literally it was all motion controlled. So like we did that. Your first person shooter was like you moving the joystick. That was you moving your weapon. So it was really cool. So. I would love to do that in like VR now. I think that'd be such a cool experience.
You know there is stuff like that. But
yeah.
I hadn't played any other. This was my first Metroid game, Metroid Dread, and it's not the longest game, but it's like very dense in its quality. I feel like it's one of those games. It's for me. It's like the perfect balance of I can load into the game. Play for 30 minutes. I don't need to bother by doing any of this, BS of side quests and all this stuff. Things are optional. And I can play for 30 minutes. Save. There's also save points. But that doesn't make it an easier game, And I can just pause, stop the game, come back. It's great. I love it. I mean, soundtrack is all right, but it really is fun.
Games aren't always just like the soundtrack. The soundtrack just helps it that
it
much
adds
more.
to the experience.
So it really does. So as someone that studied sound and music and video games and like that was going to be part of their career, that I think heightens the experience in general.
Yeah.
So
what is I think my favorite soundtrack of all time, like game soundtrack, do you have one? Because I'm kind of thinking right now.
Can I say something and you not judge me?
Yes.
No. Every time me and my family go on vacation, like we try to go someplace like outdoorsy and like make it an adventure, and every time we go or start getting to the place, like we went to Colorado or we went to Arkansas like 2 summers ago, and every time that we're like getting in like the mountains and we're starting to get like an adventure place that we're like feeling, I cue the music from Wild Rift, League of Legends Wild Rift. And it's just like this, it's kind of like this champion orchestral symphonic music, but it like kind of beefs you up a little bit, kind of gets you energetic. I'm like, we're going on an adventure, we're going on a quest, we're going to go do something fun. So they look for it. They're like, you gonna play it? You gonna play it? So like whenever we go someplace, they're like, are you gonna play it? So, but yeah, that's one of my.
I'm gonna shatter this real quick.
Okay.
This is for me definitive, the best soundtrack in any game. I feel like, and there is no debate for this. It's objectively right. Is the Mario Galaxy soundtrack.
The soundtrack for Mario Galaxy.
If you do not agree, you've never listened to it.
I've played that. I think it's good. I don't think it's that.
I think it's that good.
I don't think it's that good.
I think it is.
There are way better symphonic works out there that are.
Nah.
They're
maybe Mario Galaxy. Maybe the second one's better.
What's
the
concert they did like a whole symphonic work of like. Final Fantasy and Zelda, they have tours of orchestras that go around the world playing to like the thematic elements of their games. Like, I think that's.
But all around, I think
it's a different element though.
Like
you're talking two different
either of the Mario Galaxies, any of those.
Nick's wrong.
No.
Nick is wrong.
No.
Nick's dumb.
I'm doubling down on this.
No, you're dumb.
I'm not.
Well, okay. So I do want to say something funny.
That is pretty fun.
I'm hilarious. But we're almost at the hour mark. So, but I wanted to make a point of something. Mm-hmm. We had a few episodes ago, we had to cut out a chunk of our episode because we got off topic, and we were talking about AI and all of that stuff that entailed with that. Have you seen the new trend going around?
Oh,
the Lensa app. Have you seen that? You're not okay. Nick's not on social media. I think it's hilarious. Like 2 weeks after we have that conversation, a giant conglomerate AI app comes out, and it becomes this huge pinnacle thing. And so there is this app out called Lensa, and you submit 10 to 20 photos of yourself as a selfie, and it generates you an AI generates. It takes like 30 minutes to generate, but it does 100 to 200 images of what you would look like with different stylistic artworks, and it is insane. Insane. The whole world has gone crazy over it. I'm talking like giant celebrities, public figures, everyone on Facebook, everyone on Instagram, everyone on TikTok. Like I just think it was funny that we went off on a tangent so long, like we thought it wasn't acceptable, and here 2 weeks later, it's like everyone and their mom is doing this stupid thing, and it all has to do with AI. So I just think it's funny. We cut that out, and we didn't have to. AI's in the world, man.
I think we still had to cut that out.
Yeah, no, the way it went, yeah. But it's funny. But now it's like this giant mainstream thing, which we're done with this episode. I did it. I've got like 100 to 200 pictures from it. It's insane. Like,
really?
I have 20 pictures of me looking like an anime character. I want to start my own anime. Like, it looks amazing. I'm going to show you these, and you're going to be like, dude.
Speaking about anime, I almost forgot about this one. Episode 9 dropped.
It did. I watched it.
Episode 9. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I watched it.
You did?
I did.
Wait.
We're talking of Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
It keeps getting better and better. I would not, so I asked you the question of what happens, blah, 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 after the last episode, because the way it ended, I was like, did this happen? And you're like, I can't tell you that. So you know what I did? I went to Target and read the manga.
Bruh.
So I've got like the next like 4 episodes down at least.
Well, I think you probably got like I said, it's been going pretty fast.
I mean, but honestly, I really enjoy it. I mean,
but that's just its structure, because it's like
it's adult humor. So if you're a kid watching this, don't watch it.
Or do.
Bad influence, Nick. Bad.
Or do.
I mean, I find it far more enjoyable than I really thought. I mean, the whole concept of it just seemed silly to me at first, and but granted, it's very humorous. The guy is very relatable. He's incredibly relatable.
Trust me.
Yeah, he's relatable.
Trust me.
But the show's compelling. Like, the sequences are great. Like, it's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of dialogue. The character about the protagonist, the antagonist. I mean, it's really captivating.
The antagonist.
So, your antagonist.
Yeah.
The gun devil.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I had to think about that for a second.
It's very compelling. Yeah.
Good.
He's like, what does that word mean? I don't know what that means.
No, I just had to check something.
Yeah, I was like, the gun devil. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, because that's the antagonist of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. So I mean, we have not yet to see this person yet, but anyway, I'm excited to see where that goes in the future. So
yeah, well, what's the last thing you just read in the mango?
I don't want to say, because I remember.
Can you cut this part out?
No, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because we have one more controversial thing we need to talk about, Nick.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need to talk about it, but
I mean, it will, as in like, bleep it.
I mean, we don't need to bleep anything out. This is totally fine, but so. Me and Nick were talking earlier.
Oh, are we switching the conversation?
I'm switching the conversation.
Oh,
because we're at the hour mark. So
well, we can.
He's like, we can keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
So
I want to talk about Chainsaw Man.
We could recap on Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man will always be there, Nick. We can always come back to it. This conversation is
it's only got
now.
2 more episodes this season, man.
What?
Yes.
See, I didn't know that. Okay, well, in that case, we should wait and we should talk about the ending. That's what we should do, because I want to talk about Kanye.
Okay.
We got to talk about Kanye. For those of you that don't know, Kanye's freaking crazy, bro. Like, he went off the rails this last week.
But he made Graduation.
Oh, like. Have you seen about the Net? Like, with him in the Net, like talking on the Alex Jones show.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then we've got the Net over here, and he's gonna take my family away, and he goes, and he's just talking crazy. So, and for those of you that don't know, Kanye went off the rails this last week. And, I mean, he was already.
I don't know about that.
He's been off the rails for a little while, but now it's like. Okay. It's like, dude, you need to get yourself in check. Like, oh my gosh, and like to have such a platform like he does, being a billionaire, or a former billionaire, as he so likes to proclaim, but he won't shut up about like Hitler and Nazis. I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
it's a pretty awkward situation.
oh my gosh. It was, I mean, it's so, I mean, not to like talk about like political things or anything like that, but I mean, if you are a person with like that is very influential and you have a giant following, you really need to know like who your audience is. And let me tell you, the world is not on board with that. I mean, there's like a very small percentage, but we don't like those people. So, I mean, I don't know what happened for him to just think like he's been so ostracized that he now has this view on the world. Like,
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just for the sake of shock value, but I don't
think it's shock value anymore.
That's what I was about to say.
I mean, at one point, I might have thought it was shock value, but now I truly think he has gone off the deep end. And I think it's important though, because people talk about like mental health and like, oh, it's not, there's like the stigma, it's not real. I think this is like proof of like someone that has gone off the deep end. Like, I mean, granted, I think there is a face value of like shock value at some point, but then there's like this has spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
So Alex Jones, which I'm not talking politics here at all. I don't care if you're conservative, you're liberal. I don't care who you are, what you believe in. When Alex Jones says, dude, you need to stop. Mm-hmm. And like he's gotten under a lot of heat. You probably need to stop. I mean, because Alex Jones, he was sued for like $1 billion because of the Sandy Hook thing,
which is still kind of outrageous.
I mean, like if someone that has gone through that and is being sued,
I have my opinion about that, which really.
Oh, I mean, like. I don't want to get like political, but like
you're right. Okay,
yeah. Let's not get political because people are going to eat you alive, Nick.
No, well, look. All I'm saying is that the most that any bank had to pay during the 2008 recession was $300 million. Alex Jones is supposedly having to pay $1 billion for.
It was like $790 million. It was almost $1 billion. Yeah.
That's look.
It's a lot of money.
It's
an insane.
It's just insane. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
I mean, like, that also being said, I have no idea for that concept of money. Like, I couldn't possibly fathom that. Like, I mean,
I can hardly fathom 50 people listening
to our podcast. Yeah. Well, they may not listen to it after this, but but I mean, like, Elon Musk, he had so much money that he paid taxes, and he paid what $3 or $5 billion. It's like the most taxes that like anyone's ever paid ever, and that's an insane amount. So I mean, just to think about like that amount of money is mind-boggling. Like I'll never see that kind of money in my life. It's insane. Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, unless you somehow break into Fort Knox, but
I doubt it, man. But anyway, going back to Kanye. So I think the rule or the life lesson that should be taught here is that you need to be careful with what you say.
Yes.
And
I'm still learning that lesson.
Yeah. I think Nick's got a long ways to go too.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful with what you say. And I mean, and I think this is shedding a true light on, I mean, and you may disagree, or people watching may disagree. I think it's shedding a light on mental illness, because I think like when you are left unchecked, you are left to your own devices, and because you can just tell that his sense of his beliefs, he's just in doubt, like engulfed himself with this personality and this theology and this belief, and that's all he sees now. Mm-hmm. He can't see anything outside of that. So,
I'm not gonna say any claims because one, I don't know the guy. Yeah. So all we can know is that this is just a goof. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. But it is.
You should, whether it's a goof or not, you should not be saying I like Hitler and I like Nazis. So like whether it's a goof or not, even if it was for clout, like trying to get like a following, just to push the buttons to get, like, I'm just doing it for shock value. That's not the way you do it for shock value. There's a better way to get shock value. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation. What I'm more interested in is, Actually, no, I don't think this will affect anything at all. I'm more interested in just like the fact of like the pop culture bubble that some celebrities have right now. And it's really interesting to me because these bubbles live in their own kind of echo chambers essentially.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Probably the most obvious one would be like maybe like the Kardashians or something like that.
No.
Like stuff like that, or like TikTok stars, or any number of media where power is gained from like influence. Right. I wish I could say that this would kind of change some of that, but I don't think it will. Because it's just, it's funny when celebrities are scared because, one, they're so out of touch with just being
reality.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Which every now I go back to those videos of like celebrities like who was it? I don't know if it was Nicki Minaj or one of those. It was Cardi B. She was on her Instagram like crying about how she couldn't get sushi during COVID.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It gives me immense joy going back to that video.
Well, and see, and that's, but they, those people, they live such a pampered, different life. They really lose reality. And not to like talk about politics. I mean, if you make like millions of dollars a year, you are not resonating with the 99% of America. Just truth be told, I think it's the top 4% of earners make over $250,000 and above. So that means 90-some% make less than that.
And that's why it's like even in music, it's interesting because a lot of the top earners in the music, they probably don't write their own stuff.
Oh no. I mean, they are literally just the face of the music. You've got teams of producers, which, they literally, we talked about this last week with Tim, like you've got like army of writers that say they have this published product that they go and they look for people and artists to play and sing and to be their model for their product. So.
And before I say anything else, I'm just gonna say, people like to think this is like an awful time to be like a musician, like because there's so much. I think it's the best time. Because you can have an audience, be sustainable, and you don't have to be signed to a label to have any influence on how your music is produced and how people listen to it. Right? You could just make music. And I think this is the best way to make music, is not having, like, when you work with limits, I think, your best self comes out. And I feel like a lot of bands, like, when they get to that, starting off, in like the smaller scene, and then all of a sudden they're there, it's, they don't, it's not as good as it was. And I think the band that I always come back to is Pearl Jam.
Just talking about like the way that social media works today in general, you're way more likely to be an emergent artist than you were, 20, 30 years ago. Because we're talking about like, I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoy finding new music on TikTok and Instagram, and like I'll go and download new CDs all the time of like these artists that I've never heard of before, and it's all because they're getting exposure on this app that they wouldn't have gotten exposed any other way. But they were a no-name band before. They didn't have that since they didn't have that giant cumulative audience. Now they have it. So you're talking going from I've got 500 likes on my Facebook page, so I've got like 500 people to follow me, blah 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 blah, going to like millions and millions of people that are now getting exposed and outreach to. So I don't know. I think we will slowly start to see the masses push, truthfully, like us as a generation, I think we will start to push the shape of the new music of the world. Because, granted, you'll always have your big pop stars or whatever, but I think we're going to see more and more successful, smaller artists along the way.
Do you think?
That's how Charlie Puth got big. He was a TikToker, and he.
Yeah, and it helps to have perfect pitch.
Granted, he's insane, but
Yeah, if you go into a talk show and just
Or
be
what's the other girl? Bella Porch.
Bella
Porch.
Porsche.
Bella
Is she
Porch.
making music now?
Yeah.
What? Ew.
What?
Ew. The girl that just bobs her head up and down?
What? Nick doesn't know. Bro, she's been a top like Billboard artist for like 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah. She
What?
used her platform on TikTok. Bro, we're going to have a talk, bro. Oh my gosh. There's a song called Build Up B.
Oh, that's her?
That's her, bro.
Ew.
That is, yeah.
Ew. No wonder why it sucks.
I actually prefer her music to like Cardi B and like other artists. So
You know, I'm gonna look. I've got some guilty pleasure music. I thoroughly like the Olivia Rodrigo music.
oh, like the license song or driver's license,
that's I don't. But I mean, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it. I'm gonna put myself in a spot here. I like it.
I mean, I admitted to listening to Switchfoot is like that's my guilty
that's-
pleasure. So
That's true, but Olivia Rodrigo is a guilty pleasure of mine. But ew.
that is so good, dude. But I'm
Ew.
telling you, she became a megastar. So now, like when she's not doing stupid TikTok videos, she's literally touring, doing concerts and shows.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's how she makes the most.
That
of her
is-
money. It's insane.
You know what that reminds me of? Viners becoming comedians.
Oh man, you still see that on TikTok too now.
Ew.
Yeah. And then Elon Musk was talking about, since he bought Twitter, he was talking about bringing Vine back.
No, it needs to remain dead.
Yeah.
I think it needs to. It was for what it was. It's like with when The Walking Dead came out. Everybody loved it, and then everybody realized it sucked. Which is funny because my friends are watching it right now.
Well, but like so many of those Vine stars went on to be influencers, and they went on to be like personalities. That's how David Dobrik and a bunch of those other guys.
But
Logan Paul. Well, not Logan
it
Paul
was such a
before that, but-
weird because everything was like fitting together. 2015, 2016, when everything is happening. YouTube was a different place, right?
Yeah.
Vine was happening. Snapchat was, starting to, gain more
gain
momentum.
traction, yeah.
It was like a weird cultural bubble, and a lot of things were like going on, like Undertale, like different mediums of games. I mean, PlayStation, Xbox was still coming around. Infinity War movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Music, even if you want to go that far. But I mean, a lot of things were happening within that time. I don't think Vine could exist now.
Well, I mean, the internet's such like a melting pot of like so many different things nowadays. So, I mean, you really have. I mean, I don't think there's a place for it anymore because you can pretty much do that on any platform now and it be successful. Granted, you have the whole new like Be Real thing. I think that's stupid. I hate that. I hate that TikTok has done that. You got to post in the next 3 minutes to know. You got to be real. Know what you know. I think it's a silly caption. If you're one of those people, and I literally all I see is people making fun of people who use Be Real. So, and I mean, people watching this that use it, they're probably gonna be like, "Well, you're stupid and old, and you don't know what you're doing." I mean, maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. I don't know.
The only time I hear of people using B-roll is when they throw their phone at concerts to get the people to do their B-reel for them.
Really?
Yeah,
That seems
which
like
is funny. Oh, have you heard of Steve Lacy?
No.
Oh, I got some videos to show you. But
Okay.
he has recently, and this has been, I love this. He's this song called "Bad Habit." It's like, I wish I knew you wanted me, something like that.
Who sings that?
Steve Lacy.
You should let them sing it.
Hurt. Dang, man.
I'm sorry. You said it. He set it up. So
Yeah, but anyway, his concerts have been quite interesting.
okay. Well, I mean, it's like Oliver Tree. I mean, is he kind of like that personality, or do you know who Oliver Tree is?
I know who he is, but I have no idea what he's
Oliver
about.
Tree is literally just a memester, and he does stuff for shock value. Like he will ride a giant tricycle onto stage and like just he has a stupid bowl cut with a mullet.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's kind of obnoxious myself.
I think he's like the epitome of like where we've gone wrong with music.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, his music actually isn't that bad. I think just him as a person is annoying.
Well, cool, because I've heard arguments like that.
I've listened to his songs. Like I mean, because every time I listen to it and I look at the artist and I'm like, that's Oliver Tree. I'm like, what the heck? That song doesn't completely suck. But then I watch interviews with him and he's just a terrible person and he's just a jerk and he's just annoying. So, but anyway, but yeah.
But he just all he does is like write TikTok songs now.
Oh no, his main thing is he's an artist. He's like Bella Porch. He travels the world doing concerts and shows. And
Ew.
Yeah. He's one of those people. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you have all this. There's a whole new platform for people, for musicians to gain a giant following. And granted, he probably got that following from being gimmicky and being a terrible person.
Well, because his original music is not that bad. I think
it's good. Not. No, but see, the thing is, him as a person, there's that shock value, and that's what makes it engaging, and it stands out.
But going back to the Steve Lacy thing, so at his concerts, it's really funny. I'm gonna have to show you some videos. There's like 3 main ones. The first one is he's just getting really PO'd that people are only singing like the only song they know, which is like the TikTok song.
Okay.
So he's getting mad that all these basic white girls are coming to his concert to sing one song. That's a setup. Wow, what a surprise.
That's your audience.
Yeah. So. And so there's one clip of him where he's like having the crowd sing the song. They're singing the chorus. And they get to like one of the verses. He's like, yeah, keep singing. And the whole crowd is just quiet. Like they were all singing like the chorus and all that. Get to the verse, just silent. He's like, guys, keep singing, guys. Because we
don't know it. We just know the one part from TikTok.
No, and the funniest part is that in the video is that one random girl just like, we don't know it. And I was like, of course you don't. Of course you don't. I'll show you that video after
bro,
this.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've gone to concerts and I've been that person because I'm like, oh, I know the chorus, da, 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 da. And then he like pulls the mic away from his voice and he does it out of the crowd, and I'm like, I don't know the word.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, if I ever get to that point where one of my bands is like,
we're so successful to where you can. Like,
I'm gonna make sure that my lead singer knows, because I'm not gonna be singing apparently. I'm gonna make sure that my lead singer knows that. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't put us in that position.
Oh my gosh.
But that was the first clip. The second one is one of my favorites. It gets to a part in the song where it goes quiet and it just like goes dark, and then just a random girl's like, "Can you say hi to my grandma?" And he just goes, "Can you be quiet?" And it just goes right back into the song. That's what the next one is the last one. Somebody throws their phone on stage, because people like to do that now, I guess. Because of Harry Styles, he likes to ruin everything. And I don't want to get into it, but the Harry Styles concerts make me mad. But so this person threw their phone up, is like, do my B-reel, and so he takes the phone and he just like destroys it. He just like throws it on the ground. I'm like, yes, finally.
Mess around and find out. That's what.
Yeah, well, it's perfect. But anyway, those are funny. I need to show you those videos.
Okay, so we should wrap up here.
Yes.
We've got a lot of. I mean, and I still had things that I wanted to talk about, but we don't need to talk about. Tell you what, I'll tell you one funny thing before we go.
Okay.
Did you know that your guitar is no longer at the local music store?
Yep.
They sold it. It's gone. They sold it like 2 weeks ago.
I know. I came in one day. For anyone that doesn't know, episode like 1 or 2, I talked about it.
Yeah.
My guitar, this really cool guitar that I knew I wasn't gonna buy it,
but he wanted it.
I did want it, and it was nice playing it because it was set up good, sounded great, and somebody bought it. So whoever got it, well, sorry, but it would have sounded better in my hands.
You can pull out those knives at any point, people. If you're watching, you can hear the sharpening.
See, the tone is in the fingers. My fingers, specifically.
And they were going to cut them off. That's what they're going to do. They're going to cut off your fingers, Nick. All right, and Tim is right behind the corner here, so, no.
Yeah, I'm expecting somebody else now. But, yeah, I was sad one day it was just gone. But silver lining, they got 2 more guitars in that are, I don't know if they're better, but they play just as well.
So I ordered, I was actually the one that ordered 2 of those. They got 3 Americans in.
Yeah, we're talking about like $15 to $2,000 guitars.
Both of these guitars, they start at $1,750. And then there's an Ultra Lux, which is $2,000. Yeah. Well, it's a little over $2,000. But the American Tele Deluxe with the Miami blue, I picked that one. Oh. See, because that's a unique color. And then the HSS American Pro 2.
Yeah, that's the one I've been playing.
That's the one I've been playing. I told my wife, I was like, just keep it away from me. Keep it away from me. I can't buy another guitar.
It's just funny because it doesn't feel that much different than your.
I know, and see that's the thing. Like it's just, you're talking about that guitar, which that guitar is probably used worth $700. So it's probably like not even half of the value of that.
Yeah,
but it plays just as good as that guitar.
That's why I want it so bad. And that's why it's gonna be mine.
We'll see. I haven't decided. He really wants to buy my Strat off me.
I do.
We'll see. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. This has been a fun episode. So, tell you what kind of video games do you guys like? I want to hear on your comments on YouTube and in Spotify. We had a few people, which I don't know if Nick knows this or not.
Just assume I don't.
Yeah, I enabled some polls on our Spotify this last couple of weeks, and with our special guest, I made a poll that said, "Who do you think would win a guitar battle?" And I said, Sir Timothy, Nick, or Tom. And then I said at the Tom one, I said, LOL, right? So I'm going to let you know, me and Tim are the only one that has votes on it right now.
What?
I'm not even kidding.
Nobody's seen me play guitar except the only time people see me play guitar is when I feel like you've done this on purpose now.
Tiny guitar?
Yes, and I play it so bad because it sucks. It sucks.
Nick,
like I said, if I didn't know any better, I would have think you would have done this on purpose to set me up for failure.
Remember when Nick said he was a really good guitar player? Oh man.
Yeah, video says otherwise. Yeah. That's probably the worst I've played in a while. Is that little guitar video?
And for those of you that listen, though, I usually talk Nick up. So like I usually he's okay. He's better than me for sure. But when you set the bar low, anything's good. So. But anyway, we'll go ahead and on that note. So again, thank you guys for watching so much.
Dang.
Yeah, if you have a favorite game or a favorite video game soundtrack, comment on this video. Comment on our Spotify or YouTube. Let us know what you think. We'll catch you around next time.